Here's a fun story. Alan Moore basically told David Lindeloff to go F himself. And of course, this is going to open him up to attacks by the adaptation whiners that root for the message and everything that's out there. But to steal from the mainstream now, that's a good thing. Here we go. All right, let's just say it. Alan Moore has been talking a lot lately. A lot. To a lot of different places. Most recently, he's been talking to GQ magazine. And much of what he's been saying seems to be laden with regret. And probably some of his personal politics spilling into the conversation as well, but we'll set that aside. Our attitudes and our tastes and preferences, well, they all shift over time as we age. It's normal. But it seems that Alan is very, very bitter in his old age, at least right now. He may also not be wrong in some of his feelings. Let's just be fair. In the variety breakdown of this recent GQ piece, Moore actually outlines that there has never been a quality adaptation of his Watchmen tale. He really didn't like Snyder's take, and based on an exchange that we've been told here in this article, he really didn't like what Lindeloff did with it. In fact, telling him essentially to pound sand. So let's take a look at this excerpt. According to Moore, the showrunner sent him a letter during the HBO show's development, the Watchmen show's development, and wrote, "Dear Mr. Moore, I am one of the bastards currently destroying Watchmen." And of course, Moore says that wasn't the best opener, he said of that particular showrunner letter. It went on through a lot of what seemed to me to be neurotic rambling. Can you at least tell us how to pronounce Ozymandias? I got back with a very abrupt and probably hostile reply, telling him that I'd thought that Warner Brothers were aware that they, nor any of their employees, shouldn't contact me again for any reason. Wow. Moore continued, I explained that I had disowned the work in question, and partly that was because the film industry and the comics industry seemed to have created things that had nothing to do with my work, but which would be associated with it in the public mind. I said, look, this is embarrassing to me. I don't want anything to do with you or your show. Please don't bother me again. Dang. This particular article goes on to state that Watchmen was a critical success in 2019, this television program, which we all know was garbage. But that, of course, was baffling the fans like us, and it also baffled Mr. Moore as well. Not to mention that if it was so successful, why immediately abandon season 2? Good question. Moore hated the misadaptation of his work, aligning it with white supremacy. He asked directly, did they not understand Watchmen? Watchmen was nearly 40 years ago and was relatively simple in comparison with a lot of my later work, and I agree with that. What are the chances that they broadly understood anything since? This tends to make me feel less than fond of those works. They mean a bit less in my heart. Can you imagine that? Somebody adapting a piece of your work and tearing it up in a way that made you not like your work, your own work anymore. Wonder how Tolkien would feel right now. Anyway, moving along. Sadly, again, Moore has avoided Hollywood's portrayal of his work at all costs, because in his own words, I would be the last person to want to sit through any adaptations of my work. From what I've heard of them, it would be enormously punishing. It would be torturous, and for no very good reason. Based on these particular comments, it is surprising to me that the message pushers aren't actually out there attacking him relentlessly right now. And maybe they are, or maybe they will. Maybe they don't see the value in attacking him any longer, as it actually draws attention back to their sacred cows and their supposed success. In the case of Watchmen, still a laughable adaptation. Say what you will about Moore, and believe me, there's a lot to say, but at least he's still willing to talk about what's on his mind, regardless of what it may cost him. And in this case, it may cost him quite a bit, because he hasn't been doing comics or anything for a while. And again, he's kind of alienated himself from everybody. Once again, very brave, but I don't know about smart. Definitely bitter. But hey, what do you think? Is Moore only getting more vocal because he's actually looking for more work? You know, that could be a possibility. Do you think that he'll stick to his guns and stay away from comics, which is what he said, less than 2 weeks ago? Hard to say. Maybe a good idea will cross his mind and he'll do something with it, but I doubt it. He's got different dalliances now. And do you think either of his Watchmen adaptations were in line with any of his creations? I would say no. I would say Snyder's movie probably more so than the show. Obviously the show is complete departure, but I'm still, if he's not satisfied, then it must not have been done well. I mean, he would know more about what he was putting together than anybody who put a movie to it, so who knows. But feel free to utilize the comment section down below, and hopefully we can have a conversation about it. With that, be sure to support independent creators out there who are actually making quality work. We have several of them, including the Jinja Ninja and many others that are just out there making good content for all of you to consume. And I know there's a couple other projects in the wings that are coming out there soon. And I think Kai's working on the second part of his stories with his second book. You've got so much out there to get, including ISOM from Eric July. Support them. Support all the independents, because it's the only way we're going to get new wonderful things in the future. And with that, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time, bye.
And don't forget to check out my Rumble at rumble.com/CultureCasino.
Thanks for visiting today. Be sure you're subscribed and hit that for alerts.
Yay!
Of course, like and share all of the videos that you can, as it helps with the algorithm. Have a great day.